It is Friday, December 21st. Here is what's making the news today. During the debate on the PPP peddled no-confidence motion against the APNU-AFC coalition administration, Minister of State Joseph Harmon said he has lost respect for a leader of the PPPC following his haphazard arguments to justify his claim of no confidence in the coalition government. Here's our first report.
Guyana is now the land of opportunity. And rather than working together with your government, don't try to run us down by all of the crazy statistics given by the leader of the opposition just now. Statistics that cannot be borne out by reality. Minister Jordan has debunked some of those statements you have made in the budget. Actually, I am my disappointment is, Mr. Speaker, that I had so much of appreciation for the leader of the opposition. But until you spoke here this afternoon, I think you have gone this way.
In addition, the minister says the no-confidence motion brought by the leader of the opposition stems from the embarrassment of having to witness the achievements of the APNU-AFC government in 3 years compared to the degradation of the state by the PPP during their 23 years in office.
What we are talking about here is the national psyche. What we are talking about is what we are calling symbols of nationhood, where our people can go and assemble and watch their flag flown, unfurled. These are the things that we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, confidence in a government. This is why since we came into office, every single year, the number of persons coming from abroad to Guyana is increasing. That's confidence.
Minister Harmon also detailed the lack of national pride that was evident when the APNU-AFC administration came to power in May 2015.
I found, Mr. Speaker, I'm ashamed at what our Guyanese citizens had to endure at ports of immigration in the region. Ashamed to be identified in the wider diaspora, instead seeking to pass off as Jamaicans, Trinidadians, and Barbadians. This is what we found. How dare you? Mr. Speaker, our administration ushered in a moral and spiritual revival in this country.
During the debate on the PPP-led no-confidence motion, Minister of State Joseph Harmon spoke in defense of the government's track record. Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
As the debate heated up, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Bassel Williams reminded the House of the dark days under the opposition PPPC's leadership. Isaiah Braffett has the details.
The Attorney General was at the time defending the coalition government's track record after a no-confidence motion was brought against them by the opposition PPPC. He reminded of the infamous years in Guyana when death squads committed hundreds of extrajudicial killings of young men.
Black Cross squads, civilian hit squad, which allegedly operated under the direction of some governmental figure. Phantom squad, and a squad which was the product of the merger of the Phantom Squad and an outlaw figure. An outlaw figure to whom the government abdicated its responsibility for the public security of the state. Mr. Speaker, those squads took no prisoners. They constituted themselves as judge, jury, and executioner.
The House was also reminded of the many innocent people who lost their lives by senseless killings under the Jagdeo-led PPP government. Under the PPP government, young people were simply not cared for in their own country, the AG stated.
In that dark age, Mr. Speaker, many young people were stereotyped and dragged before the courts to face trumped-up charges of murder. Some with multiple counts. These youths were largely of one ethnicity and were between the ages of 14 to 17. All were committed to to stand trial irrespective of the level and lack of evidence.
Sir Judiciary AG said was in shambles under the previous administration with lack of independence, which is now restored under the coalition government. In his summation, AG Williams expressed confidence that under the leadership of President David Granger, the country will continue to move forward and outrightly rejected the motion. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Before we end the first segment of our news, we tell you that President David Granger on Thursday pardoned 11 juveniles from the New Opportunity Corps, NOC. This expression of compassion and humanity by the head of state will see the 9 females and 2 males between the ages of 13 and 17 reuniting with their families. It is expected that this gesture will result in the pardoned youngsters leading fruitful lives in the future. Still to come, Guyana and Brazil link another agreement. Region 5 and 6 NDC officials and Minister Valdo Lawrence gives back for the season. Stay with us.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Welcome back. Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan has reassured local leaders that the coalition government will in no way interfere with the affairs of local democracy. Details in this report.
I'd like to assure you that this administration, in keeping with our pledges and promises, where we promise to remove that hand of control and that mindset that existed to seek to dictate and dominate the affairs of local councils, that keeping with our pledge and promises, that philosophy will no longer apply.
Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan, he was at the time addressing the newly sworn-in National Regional Democratic Councillors in Regions 5 and 6 on Thursday. He said while the government is committed to offering its support, that is as far as its involvement will go. According to Minister Bulkan, the record will show that the administration has ensured that the democratic credentials are intact.
This administration is not only committed to the renewal of the democratic credentials of our councils, but we are equally committed to the rehabilitation, to the repair, and to the restoration of capacity within our respective organs.
The Communities Minister told the local officials that they are all part of the transformation in the local democracy ushered in by the coalition government. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Ghana and Brazil have signed a memorandum of understanding for the latter to provide potable water to 8 communities in the Rupununi. Felicia Valenzuela has that report.
According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Carl Greenidge, Guyana's ambassador to Brazil, George Talbot, a week ago signed on his behalf the investment agreement, which has been under consideration for some time.
Not 3 weeks ago, the Brazilian military undertook and completed an exercise of drilling wells to deliver potable water to 8 indigenous communities in the Rupununi.
Speaking on Guyana's missions abroad, Minister Greenidge noted that government is in the process of deepening collaborations with several states, notably Brazil, Romania, Austria, India to establish a Center of Excellence in ICT in Guyana, and China through the Belt and Road Initiative.
And so in the process of deepening relations with countries, we have, yes, signed an MOU with China, and that MOU captures in it the question of a Belt and Road Initiative. But our cooperation with China has taken place long before Belt and Road. You will know, of course, that you have an international conference center, you have sports centers and other things that have been part of the contribution by China to our development.
The minister says through the recently opened mission in Geneva, Switzerland, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has sought to seek assistance in strengthening the capacity of the Ministry of Finance to evaluate budgeting and planning decisions through a green economy lens. He said in early 2018, the Geneva office initiated discussions with the World Health Organization and International Atomic Energy Agency on the desirability of the development of a public health program designed to reduce cancer incidence and mortality and improve quality of life of cancer patients. Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Christmas is a time full of activities. It is also time to give back, and Minister of Public Health Walter Lawrence has been doing just that. Details from Ayana George.
Intent on putting smiles on the faces of children in East Rumveld, Minister of Public Health Walter Lawrence and Councillor for the district Nikita Edwards on Thursday visited the community to distribute early Christmas presents. The initiative was one being carried out throughout the week in various communities within Georgetown by the Public Health Minister. Insert. More than 100 children turned up at the venue with their parents to receive their presents. The minister and her team interacted with the children and held one-on-one discussions with some of the parents gathered. Our cameras got a chance to witness a few of the children delightedly opening their gifts and testing out their toy cars and trucks. Reporting for InfoHub, Ayana George.
We end this week's newscast with a reminder that the Ministry of Public Security, in conjunction with the Guyana Police Force, has relaxed the enforcement of the 2 a.m. business deadline for bars, nightclubs, and other places of entertainment. The deadline will be lifted for the period December 21, 2018 to January 7, 2019. However, all other laws, especially those prohibiting drinking and driving and noise nuisance, will be thoroughly enforced through more vehicular patrols and policemen outside partying spots. Partygoers are advised to get a designated driver and ensure noise levels at partying spots are not excessive. Your green tip of the day: replace snail mail cards and letters with e-cards and emails to save paper and mailing expense. It also will reduce your carbon footprint since it eliminates the fuel used for transporting standard mail. That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates and visit our website at dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.